Welcome back. I am Is316, and today we're going to be taking out the old parts and putting in these new parts. Of course, this is the transmission casing, the chrome one from Red Cats. So here we go. Okay, so I got my tools, I got my cars, and I got my parts right there. First things first, let's take that off of the chassis. Here we go. Okay guys, so the first thing we want to do is we want to remove the battery. If you never removed this battery before, all you have to do is grab them like this and pop them out, and that's it. Okay, you took out the battery, good. Just for safety precautions, we are going to be disassembling the motor and all that. So this is pretty much the area we will be working on. Of course, we're going to remove this motor right here. What we want to do first, there's a screw here and a screw here, just remove that. So we can have pretty much freedom to move this motor around wherever we want. That's the first step. Okay, you can remove those screws in the part. So now all you have to do is pop this off like this. And now you pretty much, when you have this loose, you can move it around with no problems. So this is the way the part's going to look when you take it off of there. And this is the way it's going to look from the back. Make sure you put the screws back in there so you won't lose them. And keep those in a safe place. Okay, the next step, we're going to be removing this screw right here. And there's one right here, one right here, there's four. One here and one here. So we can remove this motor. Do this one first, okay? Remove this and take this part off. And if you want, you can remove this screw right here too. That's only if you want. Okay, so we took that part off. It should look like this. So the part should look like this right there. We removed it. Make sure you put the screws back in there so you won't lose them. Now set that to the side. So after you remove those four screws that were left that I told you to remove, all you have to do is just pop this thing off. Like so, and that's it. Now comes the hard part. We're going to have to remove all this stuff. So here we go. Okay guys, so I have the motor out. I do want to tell you, you don't need to cut anything from the wire, okay? Don't cut anything. Just remove it from the car. Alright, that's it. That's all you're going to do. Don't cut anything. Alright? Okay, so next step, we're going to remove this screw right here, this one, that one right there. These two right here, do not remove them. Just leave them, okay? So after you've taken the three screws off, this thing should come off. Okay, so we place this to the side right now. And now what we want to do, you see these two screws, one right here and one right here. We're going to want to remove that. So after you remove the screws, this thing should just pop off like that with no problems, okay? Now we just get the chrome one, which is this beautiful shiny one. And we'll put it back in there and that's it. So you put it back together, it should look like that. You can't mess this up, guys. This is the old part and that's the new one. Very shiny, looking very good. So now we're going to set the motor to the side and work on this piece right here. You guys are ready? Here we go. So this is the piece we're going to be working on. We're going to move this one and this one right there, okay? Be very careful. Don't move this around a lot. Okay guys, so you remove the screws, right? Now be very careful, okay? Just remove this thing. Like so, very careful. And this is how they're supposed to look, alright? You see all those little gears? The little bearings and all that? All you have to do is take everything, all this stuff off and put it in the other part. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit tougher, right? Don't worry about that. Let's do this first. And of course, it's going to have grease. We could take that off and put it on the other part too. So I want to make sure you guys see this part correctly. This bearing is the one that I took off from there. Put it in here. And so is this one right here, okay? And you know, take off the grease or whatever. So now we're moving on. Okay guys, so this is the part where it gets a little bit hard. You know what will be helpful if you guys take a picture of this thing right here? just to make sure that you get everything correct. Take a picture or something. I know I'm doing this video, but you know, to help you guys out if I skip a part or if you guys don't see it correctly. And then this is the other part. We're going to put everything in here in there. So I'm going to take it step by step, very slowly. Okay, guys, so these are the parts I took off. The bearing and this piece right here, okay? First, I'm going to put the bearing in here. And then I'll put this part back on. Okay, so there we have it. We got the bearing back in there. I use some needle nose pliers to push it all the way in there. You know, sometimes it's not going to want to go in there, so you kind of have to force it a little bit. And now we're going to put this piece on. So there we have the other piece. Okay, so now we're going to take this piece off, okay? It should just pop right off. So there you go. We have the piece right here. I'm going to put it to the side right now, okay? Because I have to take this one off and place it in here, all right? Here we go. Okay, so we have that piece off. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to take this one and place it in there, all right, guys? So this is the piece I took off, but remember, there's a bearing in there. You're going to have to take that bearing and put it in there first. Oh yeah, I also forgot to tell you guys, there's another bearing right here. There's two of them, so take both of them and place them here and here, okay? Okay guys, so we have the bearings in there. Now I'm going to place this one over here, okay? Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to place this one over here in the middle. And there we go. You guys see? Now this one is going to go in here. So there we go, guys. We have everything completed. So now we just want to put a little bit of grease all over here. You could take the same grease you took off the other part. So now that we have both parts assembled, I mean, not assembled, but you know, to assemble each part. Now we're going to put both of these together. Do this very carefully, okay? So now you put it together. Okay, so now just remember, put the screws right here and right here. Okay, guys, so we have the screws back on, right? So now let's test the part. Of course, we're going to spin this, make sure it feels good. Nothing's clicking in there. It feels very good to me. Okay, so now what you want to do, this little part inside has to be moving, okay? It moves very well. Nothing seems to be wrong in there. I don't hear any noise. Nothing's loose. Everything is fine. So now all we got to do is put this part back in the motor. So now we have both parts. What I want to show you, the gear in here and the gear in there have to align, okay? It's not that hard. All you have to do is put it like this. You see where the screws go? Make sure they align like that and just put the screws back in there, okay? Which is this one right here, this one, and that one. It's three of them. And make sure it fits in there good. You're not forcing anything, okay? Okay, guys, so we have the finished product right here. Make sure you screw them in from this side, okay? Don't think you're going to have to screw them from here. No. They have to be from here, okay? Because a lot of people get confused, all right? So this is the finished product right here. Of course, we see the chromeness right there, right here, and right there. Look at that. Very nice and very shiny. To be honest with you, the only part this will be showing from the car is this part right here. All this is just for the inside. But if you're like me, if you like chrome, you got to get this upgrade. So now let's put this back in the car. Here we go. So now what you want to do is make sure these are in place. All right, just pop them back in there. You got your motor. This piece right here is going to go inside this hole, right? Don't force it. It'll just go very good like so, okay? And now what you want to do is flip it over and put the screws on the other side. Okay, guys, I made a mistake. Before we do, we're going to put this part back on. Remember, you put the screw in here and in here. And this part just goes like that, okay? Okay, guys, so you put the part back in here. The screw in the little part, so this thing won't be popping off. All right, So now we go in the bottom and screw that stuff in. Okay guys, so you got the screws back in there, which is this one right here, that one, this one, and this one in here. Okay, then it should look like that. It should be very secure. Nothing should be moving. And now we're going to put this piece back on, okay? So this is the actual piece we're going to put back in there. Sometimes it tends to do that. So all you have to do is align it, as you guys can see. Very easy. And then just put it back in there, all right? Okay, guys, so there we have the finished product. Like I tell you, this is the only piece we will be seeing underneath. But you know what? It's pretty good. Now let's check out the top part. So this is the way it looks from the inside. So if you want to show off the inside, the components and all that, this shiny little chrome piece is going to be right there. So you can show it off to your friends. Okay guys, so now it's time to test this thing. Make sure you got this wired right. The black with black, the red with red. Put your battery back in here and let's test this bad boy out. See if it works. Okay guys, so I got my control. Let's see if it works. That's the front. That's the back. It works pretty good. I say it was a successful installment. Okay guys, so this is the way the car is looking so far. I think it's coming out pretty good. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You want to subscribe, push that big red button in the middle that says It's 316. You want to check out these other videos to my left and to my right? Go ahead and do so. With that said, I'll see you on my next video. Peace.